2024 is upon us and the Rangers Report is back once again as me and Andy Sinton discuss life here at QPR as we reflect on the busy Christmas period as well as looking ahead to what the end of the season will bring. We are also joined by assistant head coach Xavier Calm who gives us an insight into life here in W12. This is the Rangers Report, brought to you in association with RFI. Since here we are, 2024, we're back with the Rangers Report. How was your Christmas and Happy New Year?
Well, Happy New Year. Christmas, really good. I think we spoke beforehand, special time of the year for families to get together and really had a good time. Football wasn't so good. I'm sure we'll come on to that in a minute, but all good.
Any New Year's resolutions as we head into the new year?
Not really. Probably be a little bit healthier, I suppose, but no, because when I've made them in the past, within a couple of weeks they're broken, so what's the point? But Happy New Year to you and all our fans as well.
So we last spoke ahead of Christmas, and that was prior to the game with Southampton. It's been a period, arguably it's not the way we wanted it to have gone over the festive time, has it?
Well, a poor festive period in terms of results and points accumulated, etc. A couple of decent performances in there, but as a whole, no, not what we wanted, but is what it is, and we know where we are.
We won't go into huge depth, but we will break down each game that we've had since Southampton, starting with the home clash with the Saints. With that one, was it arguably okay? We lost, which is disappointing as always.
I thought we played well against Southampton. I thought it was a really good game. Southampton came into the game on the back of, what were they, 15 or 16, which has been extended to 20, unbeaten. You can see what a good side they are, packed with quality and everything that goes with that. I thought we'd give a really good account of ourselves. Disappointing goal to concede, but on the whole, other than the cutting edge in the final third, I thought it was a decent performance that we could have took positives from.
And is it sort of becoming a constant theme throughout this season? We didn't follow that up. We put in a relatively good performance and then went to Millwall on Boxing Day and undid or what you've just mentioned. Yeah,
well, that was really disappointing for me. And certainly that game was, for me, the most disappointing we have played since Marty came in. You look at the Southampton, lots of positives to take for that. We know we didn't create enough or put their goalkeeper under, but a lot of our play was good. You go to Millwall, local derby, you know what you're going to have to do there, certainly in the opening stages of the game. Early kick-off, big crowd, lots of Rangers fans making the journey across town, and we just never got started.
Was it more disappointing as well because Millwall are one of the rivals that we're up against in this?
In and around us, yeah. You're playing your rivals, if you like, or teams in and around you. It's important to go and get something, but I'm a great believer the results are more likely than not a product of your performance. If you get your performance right, you give yourself a great chance of getting a result. You might be unlucky or you might be lucky, whichever way it goes. But usually, if you perform, that'll warrant what you get from the game. We just didn't perform, and that was disappointing. Poor goal, the first goal to give away, and the second one from a set play, just as 10 minutes went up on the board, and with a little bit of hope, that sort of killed the game. So, wasn't good.
We saw something a bit different as well. We saw Ken Powell in a midfield position and Ziad making a start. What did you make of that?
Well, Kenneth's played in there a few times, in the odd game. No reason why you wouldn't try that. I thought Ziad did quite well on the day playing in that left-back role, but, without singling anyone out, it was just a poor team performance. Marty said that himself. I think the Rangers fans who went to the game would be of the same opinion. So you lick your wounds and you go on and you prepare for the next one.
And as the Christmas period, we were saying beforehand, the games quickly come straight away, Ipswich away a few days later, which would prove to be a relatively good performance and a solid away point.
Again, the inconsistency or the frustration because you go to Ipswich, got a great home record, done remarkably well under Kieran McKenna. All I heard before the game from Ipswich, Peter, was they had 3 or 4 or 5 missing. Every club has that. We've had it. Every club has that. They've got to get on with it. But again, we went and acquitted ourselves really, really well. so unlucky not to take the lead with Steve's header that comes back off the inside of the post. Arguably, a couple of decisions didn't go our way, but wasn't to be. But we stuck a point on the board. Again, you would think something to build on, because it was a decent performance. I think everyone could see that. You're hoping then to go into the next game, Cardiff, New Year's Day, all guns blazing after that.
We just pause back to the trip to Portman Road. Obviously, our condolences from everyone at QPR. Yeah. We're with the supporter that.
Yeah, so sad. Yeah, so sad. No one likes to see that. When people go to a game, you just expect to cheer your side on and go home and talk about it, good or bad. So now horrible to see. Really horrible to see. And thoughts and prayers and everything that goes with it go with the family and friends of the person that was affected.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Cardiff, New Year's Day. Start of 2024 wasn't quite the way we wanted it to go, was it?
Well, again, a disappointing first half performance. We kind of hide behind the fact that, and what I like about Marty, he doesn't dress it up. He says it as it is, which is good. First half, never got going, conceded a poor goal again. Got back into the game second half. Good to see Paul Smith getting in at the back post from a really good cross by Ryan Coley, who made a difference when he came on with his energy and his tenacity and his ability. But yeah, then we concede again, shoot ourselves in the foot, and you go away disappointed.
How frustrating is that period? Because we mentioned before, as we went into Christmas, it's a really good opportunity because the games come thick and fast to get points on the board, and we've come away with it with a point. That's it.
Yeah. I looked at those 4 games, and for me, the biggest 2 games were Millwall and Cardiff, because when you're playing against Southampton on a good run, good team, Ipswich, great home form. It's not to say you can't win those games, but you're looking at the games, and I was thinking the Millwall game and the Cardiff game in particular was an ideal opportunity for us to get points on the board. We didn't do that. Again, a theory of being in the game for a long, long time, playing as a player. I think it's quite easy to play against Southampton. I think it's quite easy to go to Ipswich and play because the pressure's off. No one gives you a chance. It's the games where the pressure's on a bit more and you expect it to perform and expect it to get results that we've been found wanting in over that Christmas period.
I'm not making an excuse for the players or whatever, but is it that we have had a case of injuries happening as well? Is that a factor in?
No, of course it is. Any team who's missing 4 of the key players is going to be a little bit below par. We were missing the likes of Ilias and Chris and Cookie and various others at times, but I'm a great believer, you know what's in front of you at the start of the season. Every club will have it. I've just mentioned about Ipswich. They were moaning about it. Well, you know what? Get on with it. It is what it is. But there's no doubt, and if any team in the country, any level, if you're missing 3, 4 of what you believe are your better or key players, it's going to impact your team. And so we need as many bodies as we can back as quick as we can. And hopefully we'll stay fit from now right through to the end of the season.
Quickly followed with the FA Cup, the 3rd round against Bournemouth in W12. It was a nice opportunity to step away from league action, and you could almost see the pressure not on the players as they stepped out of that. And for the first half anyway, we produced very good performance.
First half, I thought we gave a really good account of ourselves against quality opposition. You look at their team that they put out, you look at their bench, you look at the form that they're on. Now, I know they had lost the previous game against Tottenham, but I think there were 7 unbeaten before that, winning 6. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. I thought we acquitted ourselves, went toe-to-toe with them, showed them enough respect, but not too much, if that makes sense. Got in their face, put tackles in, took the game to them. Thought Sinclair was causing the problems with his pace, because any player wouldn't want to play against that raw pace, if you like. So, first half was good.
How nice was it to see Sinclair score? It was almost a bit of a monkey off his back scoring at Loftus Road.
Always good. You want your strikers. You want any players to be scoring goals, but you want your strikers. It's been a while. First goal at Loftus Road. As I say, I thought in the first half he was a real threat. His performance was good. The goal showed exactly what he's capable of doing when you put balls up the side, and he can face defenders up. Defender, worst nightmare playing against that sort of pace. What I liked about the goal was not just the way he got in, but the final bit, to stay really composed. You see the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes almost, but you stay nice and calm, and he just passes it into the goal. And yeah, really pleased for him, and hopefully that can give him confidence in front of goal, where he can go on from now at the end of the season and get on a run of consistent games, and he can score a few more.
I'm trying to draw positives from it. Obviously, it ended in defeat, so there's not a huge amount. But obviously, Lyndon Dykes getting on the score sheet, albeit via a deflection, is another positive. To see both your strikers getting a goal is always a nice feeling.
You know, ultimately, that's not just why they're in the team, but that's what strikers, rightly or wrongly, will be judged on: how many goals they score, what they're contributing to the team, etc. But so great to see Sinclair, good to see Lyndon. You know, again, ball up the side, in behind Max Aarons at the time. Lyndon comes out on his right foot, gets a little bit fortunate, but you know, maybe that's what he needs and that's what we needed. 2-0 up, everything's looking good, but you just know with the quality Bournemouth have got, they were going to get in that dressing room. The manager was going to fire them up a little bit. I fully expected him to make a couple of changes, which he did. Those changes that he made had a real positive impact on the game. And let's face it, the second half was all pretty much one-way traffic. That's no shame, because Bournemouth, really good team, really good players. We'll probably talk about the goals or look at the goals. We're disappointed with them, but yeah, probably a game of two halves actually. Even though the first half was a bit nip and tuck, I thought we'd give a really good account of ourselves. Second half, one-way traffic. Give Bournemouth credit for that.
We will break down the sort of, we're kind of aware that the set pieces has been a problem, and Marty highlighted it after the game on Saturday, but Bournemouth was a clear example of that, wasn't it?
It's always disappointing. It's disappointing when you concede any goal, but certainly set plays, and you know that can become a little bit of a mental thing as well. The more you concede and the longer it goes on, you get even in the crowd, the fans get a little bit, got another set play to defend, you know. But no, really disappointing. Probably the most disappointing thing for me was we're 2-0 up. I said on commentary, the first thing you do is you get through that opening 10, 12, 15 minutes unscathed. You know they're going to come out flying. They did make a couple of substitutions. I think we conceded after 3 minutes or so. You know, so that was disappointing. Disappointing in the manner. Well worked from them, but we need to be doing our jobs a bit better. They get a little bit fortunate with a ricochet off Jimmy's body. Then you'll hear me saying time and time again, goals change games. Goals will change the atmosphere, both on the pitch and in and around the stadium. And you could see from then, Bournemouth had a real belief that they could get back into the game and probably go on and win it. That was at a time where we had to really stand strong and tough and resolute and do what needed to be doing. But we ultimately got undone, and another set play for the second goal.
What have you made of Marty's time so far in W12?
I still think Marty's done well. I still think he's the right man for us where we are. Started off really, really well. You know, then you had that 3-game sequence. You know, we took a point in midweek after that, you know, where you're playing against 10 men for 70 odd minutes. Didn't quite have enough to break them down, but another point, 10 points from 4 games. You go to Sheffield Wednesday, you're winning the game against a rival at the wrong end of the table with 3 minutes to go, and you get beat. That can floor you a little bit, but yeah, we've talked about the Christmas period. We need to be better all over the pitch. We need to be better in certain situations, with and without the ball. But you know what? There's 20 games to go. There's loads of runway ahead of us. There's still time, but it's time. And the players, a message to our players, if you like, you know, it's time for you to step up, start performing, and start getting some results.
We're joined by assistant head coach Xavier Calm, who will also play a role under Marty as we head into the final few games of the season. We're here at Heston, joined by Xavier Calm. Xavier, how are we, first of all?
Thank you very much. I'm okay. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So you arrived in early November alongside Marty Spencer. How have you found life here in London so far?
I knew London. Not in terms of work, but yes, I knew London, and we were very happy to join in this type of club, this club of London, and this club with this size and this culture.
On the field, things started very brightly very early on. We picked up a few good results against Stoke, Preston and Hull. How have things sort of changed in recent weeks, haven't they? How have you found that?
Sometimes football is not mathematics, no? We started maybe not winning games, and it's more mental than tactic part. We need to improve in this size, not in the movement, not in the tactic part. I think sometimes it becomes more mental than anything.
Do you feel like you're getting your message across now, you and Marty, to the squad and the players, understanding what you want from them a bit more in recent?
Yeah, the players are very focused on our suggestions and our ideas and our game plans. They are trying. They are working hard. The desire is there, but it's not as easy as we can think. As a player, you have a lot of things to be aware. You have the pressure. You have the opponent. You have your private life. You have it's not easy. They are not machines. We cannot ask them to do this movement, and every time it will be successful. It's not easy, but they are trying, and we are sure that the results will come.
Can I just ask you about, Xavi, ask you about your relationship with Marty?
Yeah.
You know, you work with him in Spain, you work with him in Sweden, you're obviously very tight with him.
Yeah.
Just tell me about how you work together and what makes it a good combination.
Yeah, we started to work together 10 years ago. We met working in a different clubs in the Spanish academies, and we started to work in Spain in a League One level team, and we are very comfortable working together.
Different in personalities, characters?
Maybe, yes. In terms of football, he loves the offensive part, yes. To decide the game plan, the new movements, how we can beat the opponent. And maybe I'm more focused in the defensive part, yeah. And how we can stop the opponent and we can avoid their attacks. No, in terms of personality, we are good friends and we are honest people. We try to work as much as possible. We are working 12 hours per day, and we try the best for the club that we are working, and we are very, very, very happy to be here, honestly. We love English football. I loved English football from my Birmingham experience, and we are enjoying a lot. After we enjoy more.
100%.
Yeah.
On the field with QPR, massive 20 games coming up as we approach the end of the season. What's the approach from the management side to the players going into them few games?
During the games that we were winning, we were not the best team in the world, and we are not now a team. We are not the worst team in the world. Football is mental. Sometimes or many times is a mental. The mental part is very important in football, and now we know that we have 20 games to play, to try to improve, to try to be strong. Not just on the pitch, strong on the dressing room, strong close a circle, this circle that together with the staff, with the club, with the supporters, and we have to be as strong as possible, because we will have good moments, but we will have bad moments as well, because football, you have to be balanced. You cannot be the best and then the worst. The balance is very important, and the players are trying. We are very, very calm with this because all of them are on the boat.
We can't not ask about the set pieces. It's become a bit of a talking point at QPR in recent weeks.
Yeah.
Marty was frustrated after the game on Saturday. It's something that going forward we'll be working on, obviously.
Yeah, we are frustrated because in the past set pieces have been working well, and now we have a issue here in the set pieces part. To be honest, I think we have to work on the set pieces. We are working the set pieces. We know that in Championship is important part of the game. I knew from Birmingham as well, and we know that we need to improve, but we cannot go too much deep on this and to become a issue, a mental issue. We have to work on them, but we have to work, and that's it. We have to keep working. We are working. We are not getting the results that we would like, but we need to keep working and to be focused, to be aggressive, to improve the set pieces offensively and defensively. We need to improve every day and to make sure that the results are better.
And things start on Sunday when we host Watford, a local derby at Loftus Road as well.
Yeah.
A game that everyone sort of looks forward to, isn't it? And a good chance for us to really kick on.
Of course, we have now a month with important games at home. Loftus Road is special for us. Of course, we have to try to get good results on those games. But at the end, the most important game of the season is the next one. We cannot think about the next month, how many games we have at home, how many games we can win. Then next one is the most important thing, the most important game of the season. Let's focus on this game. Let's put our everything into it. And then when Watford finishes, next one.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since it's a Watford at home on Sunday, and that kick-starts with what is the final third of the season.
Well, as I said earlier, 20 games, loads of games, loads of points to play for, 60 points. You know where we are. Can't hide behind that. We know we've got to start winning games. But you know what? I don't want to see long faces. I don't want to see a resignation of what might happen. We've got 20 games. We've got enough points. We've got 8 at the bottom half of the table to play at home. And someone might come back to me and say, well, our home form's poor. Well, it is in terms of, but from a 20-game season, if you've got that in front of you, me as a player, I'm rolling my sleeves up and say, come on, bring it on, let's go. And that's where we are.
And a local derby as well, Watford. We started the campaign with Watford. That was a disappointing afternoon. Is this a chance to right some of them wrongs? And also, if we mention, throwback to last March, Watford at home was a game at home. Even though we had poor form again last season, we sort of went into a similar situation.
We know that game in March. We were in a poor run of form, and we got a really important victory. Every victory, every point is important. So you got that to lean back on, albeit different season, different players, etc. So that's probably gone, but that's what can happen. You can win any game. You can win any game against anybody. Start the season, you mentioned it. I think that's the poorest I've ever seen QPR play. But you know what someone said to me the other day, do we because of that, do we owe Watford, do we owe them one? No, we don't owe Watford anything. We owe ourselves. We owe ourselves to put on a performance that our fans can really get behind. And, if we're in it together, there's no reason why we can't go and win the game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game. And
as always, it'll be packed out in W12. We can't fault the fans at all.
Fans have been absolutely superb, home and away. The attendances at home games, albeit, I've mentioned our home form, mentioned the last year or so, it's been bleak to say the least. But fans have stuck with the players, they've stuck with the team, they've stuck with the club. Now it's time, and I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, it's now the time. Marty will select the team, Marty will select the squad, players who are picked, what you're in the team for, what you're good at, go and do it, stay together, let's start getting some results.
And that will kickstart a busy end to the month. We've already had a few games in January, but we've Millwall and Huddersfield.
Yep.
Literally what you were talking about with the opponents. They're our rivals, aren't they?
All huge games. Every game from now till the end of the season. Look where we are. People are speculating and trying to second guess everyone. How many points do we need? How many wins do we need? First of all, we need a win on Saturday. That's the first. Let's not worry about further down the road. Each game as it comes, that's the old cliche in football. But I've been in it enough to know you're as good as your next game. Let's do all we can to get 3 points on the board. Then we'll start focusing on Millwall, get something against them. Then we start focusing on Huddersfield. But every game is going to be huge. But this month, because of the way the fixtures are panning out, February as well. But every game is really, really important. Every point we're going to have to earn. Every point we're going to have to scrap and fight and do all we possibly can to get enough points to see us to where we need to be.
If you're in the dressing room, what are you saying as a player and as a manager? You've been in both situations. What's the message going?
Well, I'm sure Marty will be on the training ground. Every day he'll be demanding, he'll be pushing, he'll be trying to improve players individually, collectively. If I'm a player, certainly the experienced players, they'll have been in situations like this. There's enough experience in our team. People go, we're a young team, and if you look at our team, we're not the youngest of teams. There's stacks of games between them. There's enough within there to know what it's going to take and how it needs to be done. Fans are going to play a huge role. As I've said, they've been absolutely magnificent. I thank them for the support they've given the club. But stay with the boys, roar them on, push us that extra little bit, then it's up to the players. Once they're selected, manager's, coach's job, he can make subs, he can bark instructions, he can tweak things at half time. But ultimately, I've been a player. You have to then go and perform to what you're good at.
As always, everyone can listen to you on QPR Plus for the upcoming home games. Since, thank you as always.
Pleasure.
A final message for the supporters going into
Again, Happy New Year. I know it's a little bit belated, but thanks for your incredible support you're giving the team and the club. We're going to need you more than ever from now to the end of the season. Let's stick together. Come on, you guys.
This has been another edition of the Rangers Report.